President Buhari back in Abuja after a 5-day journey of faith to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Promises sustained drug offensive.
The federal government is committed to repairing a lot of damaged infrastructure in the Northeast.
Vice President Oshibajo inaugurates people-oriented projects in Maiduguri, assures federal government's commitment to reconstruction of the Northeast.
The basic healthcare provision fund is to structure it in a way that money will flow from central bank to the primary care facility.
About 100 million Nigerians to benefit from basic healthcare provision fund. And activities ahead of the presidential inauguration heat up with human capital development and rapid industrialization on the front burner. Good evening and welcome to the Network News tonight. I am Muhammad Kudu Abubakar in Abuja. With me on the news are Dr. Ogunyemi in Lagos and Naomi Abuaku in Maiduguri. President Muhammadu Buhari is back in Abuja after a 5-day journey of faith to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. While in the Holy Land, he decried the problem of drug trafficking by Nigerians, assuring that the sweeping offensive by his administration against perpetrators will continue. The president, however, requested Nigerians in the diaspora to join the efforts by exposing those involved in the illegal trade, living in their midst, to their host communities. He stated this at a meeting with the leadership of the Nigerian community resident in Saudi Arabia. State House correspondent Adam Musambo reports.
Making reference to the recent exposure of a network of nefarious drugs traders operating at one of Nigeria's international airports discovered to be tagging bags laden with drugs to innocent passengers, President Muhammadu Buhari warned the citizens to refrain from breaching the nation's laws and those of other countries. Every country, he said, has its own unpatriotic citizens, explaining that authorities in China and Saudi Arabia, for instance, don't joke with these things, and therefore Nigerians must ensure that laws are obeyed and indeed respected both at home and abroad, or blame themselves if found wanting. President Buhari thanked Nigerians in Saudi Arabia for their support and prayers for the well-being of the country. He promised to continue to do his very best, securing the country, improving the economy, and fighting corruption. The president expressed the belief that the renewal of his mandate by Nigerians was in the realization that the governing APC is doing its best in addressing genuine national aspirations, and promised that the trust of the citizens will continue to be kept. The leaders of the diaspora community in Saudi Arabia, led by Umar Abubakar and Hadeja, had earlier congratulated the president on his re-election and promised their continued support. They highlighted a number of problems confronting them, including the activities of drugs smugglers, which were highlighted by the recent incident concerning Zainab Abibu Aliyu, whose name tag was attached to a drugs-laden bag at the airport, leading to her arrest and prolonged detention in Saudi Arabia before the intervention of the president freed her. She has since been reunited with her family. Meanwhile, President Muhammadu Buhari, accompanied by his wife Aisha Muhammadu Buhari, was seen off at the Royal Terminal of King Abdulaziz International Airport, Jeddah, by the governor of Mecca Province, Prince Marshal bin Majid bin Abdulaziz Al Saud, as well as the Nigerian ambassador to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Isa Muhammad Dodo, and his wives. And on return to the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, the first family was received by the Minister of the FCT, Muhammad Musa Bello, his Chief of Staff, Abba Kyari, Chief of Defense Staff, General Abayomi Olonishakin, Acting Inspector General of Police, Muhammad Adamu, and other senior government officials. Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
Meanwhile, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo has inaugurated a number of projects executed by the Borno State Governor, Kashim Shettima. Mohammed Goni reports on the one-day official engagement of the Vice President in Maiduguri.
The presidential aircraft conveying the Vice President Yemi Osinbajo touched ground at the Maiduguri International Airport at about 12 noon, where he was received by Governor Kashim Shettima. Other dignitaries at the airport to receive the Vice President include Deputy Governor Usman Mamman Durkwa, Governor-elect Professor Babagana Umar Zulum and his deputy-elect, members of National and State Assemblies, members of the State Executive Council, top government functionaries, as well as business communities. The Vice President, accompanied by Governor Kashim Shettima, proceeded to inaugurate projects executed by the Borno State government. Projects inaugurated include Ibrahim Damchida Primary School, Ashak Jarma Primary School, as well as Ambassador Gajigal Timari Estate and Muhammad Nur Al-Khali Model School, all of which are part of the 41 mega schools constructed to enroll orphans and unaccompanied children occasioned by the Boko Haram insurgency. Also inaugurated was the 6.5-kilometer dualized Damboa Road, where the Vice President commended the Borno State government for its collaborative effort at rehabilitating the federal road.
I hope that in the future, the federal government will support many of the, especially the federal road project and some rural road projects, as well as we expand the scope of activities here. The federal government is committed to repairing a lot of damaged infrastructure in the northeast.
Umar Adam Kolo GSM Village was another project inaugurated by the Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, designed to create jobs opportunities to teeming unemployed youth in the state as part of post-insurgency economic empowerment program. Nana Shettima Premier Clinic, a 30-bed capacity primary health care facility, was another project inaugurated by the Vice President in line with federal government's initiative of one primary health care clinic per community. In Maiduguri, Mahmoud Goni, NTA News.
When I joined Naomi in Maiduguri for more on Vice President Yemi Osinbajo's visit to Borno State. Naomi, over to you.
And welcome to Maiduguri. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo says rebuilding Northeast region has remained on the front burner of the federal government's commitment to improving the lives of the people. The Vice President stated this when he paid homage on the Shehu of Borno Abubakar Ibn Umar Garba El-Kanemi during a one-day state visit to Borno to unveil a number of projects executed by Governor Kashim Shettima administration. Maimuna Garba reports.
Vice President Professor Yemi Osinbajo said already the federal government has put machinery in place for rebuilding of the Northeast region ravaged by insurgency, with the President's inauguration of the Northeast Development Commission recently. The Vice President said the federal government will do its best and will continue to give all the necessary support to help Borno State.
He has done so much and has extended himself in so many different ways. His Excellency the Governor has completely taken to heart the problems and challenges of the state.
Governor Kashim Shettima thanked the Vice President for the show of empathy and support to the Borno citizenry, saying he established one of the best orphanage schools in Borno. He said Borno people will remain indebted to the present administration, having gone through worse times. Shehu of Borno Abubakar Ibn Umar Garba El-Kanemi commended the present administration of President Muhammadu Buhari for the peace being enjoyed in the state. The royal father also commended Governor Kashim Shettima for embarking on developmental projects across the state, especially schools, roads, and housing. The Vice President then proceeded to inaugurate a mega school behind the Shehu's Palace, which hitherto was the city's old prison, now converted to a mega school and was named after the Shehu. In Maiduguri, Maimuna Garba, NTA News.
In the meantime, Vice President of Nigeria, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, has inaugurated a 250-bed capacity women and children hospital in Maiduguri, the Borno State capital, in addition to other infrastructural projects. He appreciated the government and people of Borno for naming a school complex after his wife, Dalapo, in recognition of her commitment to girl-child education. Muhammad Ibrahim reports.
It was not only satisfying for the government and people of Borno State to receive the Vice President on the 5th visit to the state, but a fulfillment of a pledge to the people by Governor Kashim Shettima, who played host to the nation's #2 citizen. While inaugurating the Mariam Abacha Women and Children Hospital along Dikwa Road, the Vice President showed concern and appreciation by taking time to assess the hospital equipment and facilities. Borno State Commissioner of Health, Salisu Kwayabura, explained that the hospital was established to provide effective healthcare services to reduce maternal mortality and improve child survival, hence the state-of-the-art equipment put in place. Vice President also took time to inaugurate additional classroom blocks at Government College Maiduguri, as well as a complex named after his wife, Dolako Oshibanjo, at Yerwa Government Girls College Maiduguri.
This is meant to be a place of safety for them, and it's also a place where all the educational pursuits will be met, will be fulfilled.
The Vice President also inaugurated the Kwa Low-Cost Road project before his departure to Abuja. In Maiduguri, Muhammad Ibrahim, NTA News.
That is it on the Vice President's visit to Borno State. Kudu is back to you in Abuja.
Thank you, Naomi. In another news, the federal government has described former President Olusegun Obasanjo's comments imputing ethno-religious motive to Boko Haram as deeply offensive and patently divisive, noting that such indiscreet comments are far below the status of an elder statesman. In a statement, the Minister of Information and Culture, Alhaji Lai Mohammed, observed that it is particularly tragic that a man who fought to keep Nigeria one is also seeking to exploit the country's fault lines to divide it in the twilight of his life. Alhaji Lai said Boko Haram and ISWAP are terrorist organizations, pure and simple, and they care little about ethnicity or religion when perpetrating their senseless killings and destructions. The Information Minister noted that President Buhari had put to rest the mischaracterization of Boko Haram as an Islamic organization when he said in his inaugural speech in 2015, and I quote, "Boko Haram is a mindless, godless group who are as far away from Islam as one can think of," end of quote. Alhaji Lai said former President Obasanjo's prescriptions for ending the Boko Haram ISWAP crisis, which include seeking assistance outside the shores of Nigeria, are coming several years late, as President Buhari has done that and more since assuming office. Hence, the phenomenal success he has recorded in tackling the terrorists. A total of 70 suspected kidnappers have been arrested by the Katsina State Police Command since the inauguration of the Operation Puff Adder in April this year. Abdul Malik Hassan reports that among the suspects are 4 members of a syndicate that abducted the mother-in-law of Governor Aminu Bello Masari.
Recovered from the criminals are over 1,800 arms and ammunition, as well as other exhibits. Katsina State Commissioner of Police Sanusi Buba says the breakthrough by the command within the last few days are in line with the objectives and core mandate of Operation Puff Adder, as conceived by the Inspector General of Police Mohammed Adamu Abubakar, aimed at bringing to an end the menace of cattle rustling, armed robbery, kidnapping and banditry in Katsina State.
These massive achievements are indicative of successes recorded in ongoing onslaught against banditry and other heinous crimes in the state. I also wish to warn all persons within the communities aiding the bandits to desist from such unwholesome practice or be prepared to face the dire consequences.
He appeals to the general public to support and partner with the Nigerian police force by providing credible information that will lead to the arrest of suspected persons and groups who have connections with perpetrators of heinous crimes. Among the suspects paraded was the mastermind and gang members that kidnapped mother-in-law of Katsina State Governor Aminu Bello Masari and who was released after the payment of 30 million naira ransom. In Katsina, Abdul Malik Hassan, NTA News.
100 million Nigerians to benefit from government's basic health care provision fund. Details when we return.
The clock is ticking. It's the signal for the inauguration of the 16th President of Nigeria and 5th President in the 4th Nigerian Republic.
Nigerians are set to mark the beginning of the second term of Muhammadu Buhari as President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The first term saw the most massive critical infrastructural development, agricultural revolution, war against corruption, tackling insecurity, and unprecedented social investment programs. Our opportunity to keep moving our country on the path to a prosperous future. It's the next level for the Nigerian people. This is our time as Nigerians. Come, let us celebrate the next level with Muhammadu Buhari, President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Federal Republic of Nigeria. Date, Wednesday, 29th May 2019. Venue, Eagle Square, Abuja. Time, 8 a.m. prompt. Roll out the drums. Come, let's celebrate.
Announcer Boss Gida Mustafa, Secretary to Government of the Federation and Chairman 2019 Presidential Inauguration Committee.
Data. We can't live without it. Share it. Sell with it. Borrow it.
Up here, calm down, breathe.
Celebrate with it. Breathe easy. Data is oxygen. Glow 4G, the new speed of life. Your #1 4G network nationwide. The very best from Glow, the grandmasters of data. The dawn with your prayers. You never stop giving. You never stop loving. You make family priority because there you find rest and peace. Ensure they are on check with the Takaful Family Income Plan from African Alliance Insurance. It is an investment plan with a life cover, which is based on the concept of Al-Mudaraba. You can start with a minimum of 6,000 Naira per month. Call 0706-737-4860 now. African Alliance, with you for life.
The Honorable Minister of Mines and Steel Development cordially invites all metrological industry operators, chief executives, captains of industry, the academia, all other stakeholders, and the public to the second Nigerian Metrological Industry Stakeholders Forum, MISF, engaging the Southwest Zone. Theme, developing SMEs in the metal sector for economic diversification, job creation, and national prosperity. Date, Wednesday 22nd to Thursday 23rd, May 2019. Venue, DBI Guest House, 1 Nightel Street, Oshodi, Lagos State. Time, 9 a.m. daily. The forum is envisaged to position the Nigeria's metrological industry for economic diversification and industrialization. Signed, Dr. Abdulkadir Muazu.
The Subcommittee on First Ladies' Activities for Presidential Inauguration hereby announces the programs for May 29, 2019 Presidential Inauguration. Interactive session of women with the First Lady. Date, Saturday 25th May 2019. Venue, State House, Abuja. Time 2 p.m. prompt. Children's Day Party. Date, 27th May 2019. Venue, State House, Abuja. Time 1 p.m. prompt. This event is strictly by invitation. Hajia Miriam A.D. Rufai, Secretary, Committee on First Ladies' Activities for Presidential Inauguration 2019. Announcer.
Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board invites pro-chancellors, chairmen of council, vice-chancellors, provosts and rectors to the presentation of the maiden edition of the National Tertiary Admissions Performance Merit Award to be presented by His Excellency, the Vice President, Federal Republic of Nigeria, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, to the 5 award-winning institutions as follow. Date, Thursday, 23rd May 2019. Venue, National Judicial Institute. Time, 3 p.m. Attendance is strictly by invitation. Announcer, JAMB.
It's Ramadan. It's okay to share what you love. Ramadan Kareem from Indomie. Indomie Super Pack now available at 85 Naira.
Thank you for remaining there. 100 million Nigerians are to be covered by the Basic Healthcare Provision Fund of the federal government. This was part of the submissions by the Minister of Health, Professor Isaac Adewale, when he briefed the Senate on the state of teaching hospitals in Nigeria. National Assembly correspondent Ignatius Oko has more.
Like a typical visiting day by a chief executive to the Senate, leader of the Senate, Ahmed Lawan, moved for the rearrangement of the day's order paper. Shortly, the minister was ushered in. The health minister explained that implementation of the Basic Health Care Provision Fund, approved by the National Assembly in 2018, is in progress.
The Basic Health Care Provision Fund is to structure it in a way that money will flow from central bank to the primary care facility, bypassing all obstacles.
Even though you are at the twilight of your tenure in this current administration, but even then, it is important that we find a solution to very obvious problems.
How can we make usage better? How can we make Ahmedu Bello what it was in the 60s?
Senator Kabiru Marafa reminded the minister of the 300 million naira he raised in 2012 for facilities at the Federal Medical Center of Buzo, which has not been procured.
Even after the monies were paid 100%.
As a minister, the last thing I want to do is to start investigating the past.
We must ensure that we have adequate releases to these hospitals so that the basic needs are addressed.
The bill for the establishment of City University Kaduna, sponsored by Senator Jibrin Barau, has been passed.
Help to create improved technical workforce for the country's economic diversification.
The Senate has approved the report on the new conditions of service for the National Assembly staff, which, among other issues, provides for the retirement age of staff at 40 years of service or 65 years of age. From the National Assembly, Ignatius Nkwo, NTN News.
To check increasing rate of substance abuse and addiction among Nigerian youths, MTN Nigeria, through the MTN Foundation, in collaboration with other stakeholders, has rolled out program ASAP in Port Harcourt, Rivers State. The ASAP Roundtable, with the theme Building a Multi-Sectoral Approach to Curtail Substance Abuse, was attended by students and a cross-section of the society. Didabari Siedomo Mweke has the report.
Substance abuse is a fast-growing phenomenon in Nigeria. Available facts suggest that accessibility to and abuse of illicit drugs are on the rise, urging all hands must be on deck. The MTN Foundation has over the years partnered public and private organizations to initiate development programs to better the lives of Nigerian youths and the country at large. Senior Manager, Program Implementation, MTN Foundation, Abasi Ekong Udobong, said the program is aimed at stimulating discussion among stakeholders, leaders of thought, and policymakers on the dangers and growing tide of substance abuse among Nigerian youth.
What the whole program is about is to try and reduce, the instance of a substance abuse amongst young people between 10 and 25. So we're doing a whole range of activities in Rivers State.
So these important stakeholders will be working with the Financial Society of Nigeria to drive down the drug use situation in Rivers State.
We are happy to partner with MTN Foundation and her partners to contribute quota to ridding River State of illicit drugs as well as illegal and additive substances.
A short drama on the effect of drug abuse on the human body was performed. In Port Harcourt, Dibabari Siedmaweke, NTA News.
Chairman of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, Muhammad Mustafa Abdallah, has dissociated himself and the agency from the reports in some quarters that he and the governor of Ondo State, Rotimi Akeredolu, visited Thailand to promote the cultivation of cannabis for medicinal purposes. The NDLEA boss denied this allegation in its entirety, describing the trip as purely one to understudy Thailand's successful migration of some of her citizens formerly engaged in illicit poppy plant cultivation to the cultivation of legitimate economic crops such as coffee, tea, and other lawful businesses. The NDLEA further restates its opposition to legalizing cannabis for recreational purposes, stressing that the Operation Thunderstorm undertaken by the Ondo State Command of the agency that destroyed about 4,000 hectares of cannabis sativa planted attests to the NDLEA's resolve. The Aisha Buhari Foundation, in collaboration with other stakeholders, has expressed the need for more funding and commitment of relevant authorities towards addressing the challenge of severe acute malnutrition in Nigeria. This came to light when members of the group, headed by the Senior Special Assistant to the President, Dr. Hajo Sani, paid a courtesy call on the Minister of Budget and National Planning, Udoma Udodoma. State House correspondent Aliu Kabir reports.
Undernutrition is a major cause of childhood mortality and prevents children from reaching their full physical and mental potential. As part of her advocacy, the wife of the president under the Aisha Muhammad Buhari Foundation is collaborating with other critical stakeholders to address the challenge. The purpose of forming this consortium is to advocate for increased commitment and funding for the prevention and treatment of severe acute malnutrition in Nigeria. The visit on the Minister of Budget and National Planning, headed by the Senior Special Assistant to the President, Dr. Hajo Sani, on behalf of the wife of the President, is to strengthen their advocacy.
All stakeholders, relevant ministries should actually come together to work out all the modalities to see that in the coming years, the issue of severe acute malnutrition is never an issue.
And beyond that, also speaking to prevention, because they say prevention is better than cure. And so these advocacy, the consortium, are also doing that. But more than anything else is ensuring that funding is made available all the time.
I've listened to the issues that you have raised. We will address all of them.
Other members of the consortium comprise Civil Society Legislative Advocacy Center, CISLAC, International Society of Media in Public Health, as well as Network of Health, Equity and Development. I am Aliu Kabir, NTA News.
Taraba State has declared a state of emergency on water, sanitation and hygiene. Joseph Austin reports that the state governor, Darius Ishaku, renewed his commitment to improving the health status of Taraba State.
Recent studies indicate Nigeria is experiencing drastic decline in the supply of quality water, sanitation and hygiene. The glaring disturbing situation informed the declaration of state of emergency on water, sanitation and hygiene, WASH, by President Muhammadu Buhari last year. Taraba State is said to be the fifth to key into the WASH policy.
And the National Action Plan on WASH explained that we must step up concern.
Notable among the achievements include the ongoing Jalingo Primary Water Source Project at the cost of 7 billion naira.
As USAID EWASH, we have put in place an amount of up to 1 billion naira.
After launching WASH, the state governor Darius Ishaku went on to inaugurate more ATM water dispensers and inspected a substation of the State Water Supply Agency in Jalingo. Joseph Sound Utsen, NTA News.
The federal government says it will continue to ensure human capital development and rapid industrialization through the promotion and creation of enabling environment for small and medium enterprises. Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, stated these at the 2019 National Youth Entrepreneurship Empowerment Summit in Abuja. Olayinka Ojo reports that the summit is part of activities lined up ahead of the presidential inauguration 2019.
It is said that any nation that ignores its youthful population does so at a risk, as it is the fastest way of eroding the future generation. This is why the Buhari administration in its first term paid attention to this noble cause by putting in place several initiatives and interventions for the youth skills acquisition for improvements in livelihood. The National Youth Entrepreneurship Empowerment Summit is crafted not only to encourage entrepreneurship and rebirthing of new businesses, but to create enabling environment where budding entrepreneurs and startups can showcase innovative and viable products and services.
The more productive the citizens of a nation are, the better the economy will be.
Your failure is just as important as your success. But if you're given the skills, the training, the mentoring, the right network, you will stand up again.
At the end of the summit, 10 amongst participants with outstanding business proposals will go home with 1 million naira each, courtesy of the federal government, and 12 months personal mentorship program, courtesy of the Tony Elumelu Foundation. Olayinka Ojo, NTA News.
Nigeria has taken huge strides in terms of business in the country, recording massive success in the ease of starting and doing business. Experts on Good Morning Nigeria noted that reducing the time for business registration as well as introducing an online platform to pay duties has facilitated the movement of the process up in rankings. Abdulkarim Mohammed Zurmi reports that the Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, was also on the program to give insight on what Nigerians should expect during the presidential inauguration on May the 29th.
The minister, while giving a rundown of the activities lined up, says the inauguration reflects Nigeria's journey to democratic rule since 1999.
This country has potentials, and my advice to all Nigerians is that there is no country that would not experience the kind of challenges we're experiencing. But we are very fortunate to have a president who understands this country better than most people think he does.
He assured Nigerians of adequate security during the inauguration.
I think this same question was asked yesterday when I was having a press conference, and my answer was that this is not probably the right forum to let you know which measures have been taken. But just to reassure you that obviously there's no cause for alarm. Security authorities are on top of the matter.
Also, economic experts who featured on the program applauded government's economic policies which propelled Nigeria's upward movement 24 places in the ease of doing business rankings.
Interesting, if you look at that report, the 2019 report, okay, it says we moved up in about 5 areas. There are 10 indicators moved up in 5, and out of that 5, we moved up 10 places, which is the highest in with respect to paying taxes.
The rails are also being upgraded and implemented.
It was agreed that the fight against corruption and increased provision of infrastructure will pave way for economic growth. In Abuja, Abdulkarim Mohammed Zurmi, NTA News.
The need for the Independent National Electoral Commission to create additional constituencies was again the subject of discourse at Tuesday's plenary of the House of Representatives. Lawmakers urged the Commission to review and update state constituencies in line with constitutional provisions. National Assembly correspondent Laimi Ali reports.
The call was in response to a motion tabled by Representative Edward Pojok and Benjamin Wayo on the need for the National Assembly to approve the proposal of INEC to create 2 state constituencies from Oshongo in Benue State. The House noted that the Commission, as provided in the Constitution, may at intervals of not less than 10 years alter constituencies where desirable.
The House of Assembly of a state
shall consist of 3 or 4 times the number of seats that state has in the House of Representatives, divided in a way to reflect, as far as possible, nearly equal population.
This will also be bringing to pass the decision of the Public Petitions Committee that took a decision that INEC should obey the court orders and conduct elections within 90 days. That decision was taken in 2016.
This particular issue is cross-cutting and generic to many, many states. This is the time that the National Assembly should encourage and support the Independent National Electoral Commission to organize this very exercise before the 2023 election.
The lawmakers approved the motion, a resolve to seek concurrence of the Senate. Also approved at Tuesday's plenary was the report of the Conference Committee on a bill for an act to regulate the manufacture, importation, distribution and quality control of fertilizer in Nigeria.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Those against it say nay. Ayes have it.
The chairman of the ad hoc committee is set up to investigate alleged non-remittance of trillions of naira of stamp duty charges by deposit money banks into the Federation account. Representative Yunus Ahmed also laid the committee's report at plenary. Meanwhile, the House passed for second reading a bill for an act to repeal and reenact the Federal Colleges of Education Act to enable the inclusion of all colleges of education established after 1986 in the proposed act. From the National Assembly, Lami Ali, NTA News.
Let's now Dotun in Lagos for the latest reports on NTA Network News. Over to you, Dotun.
Thank you, Kudu, and welcome to the Center of Excellence. A win-win trade relation with the United States of America is what the Nigerian government targets. Vice President Professor Yemi Osinbajo, at the opening of U.S. Fair 2019 in Lagos, emphasized the importance of greater partnership between the two countries. Paul Omukagu has details.
Between our countries is open for business. Minister, final word? Final word is together we are stronger.
That was the official flag-off of the fair, with the Vice President, represented by the Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Okechukwu Enalema, underscoring the need for both countries to eliminate critical hindrances to trade and investment. The federal government, he restated, is working assiduously to address infrastructure deficit in the country, while also desiring an all-inclusive economic growth.
All hands are on deck to ensure that we foster the right enabling environment, both for bilateral trade and investment, and also, for achieving the kind of mutual benefits that would be good for our people.
United States Ambassador to Nigeria, Stuart Simitin, assured the government and the business community of deepening a partnership with Nigeria through increased trade and investment.
This is Nigeria's great challenge. It is to create goods and services here in Nigeria that are worth more than they cost, that are true world-class products at world-class prices with world-class quality.
The first USA Fair in Nigeria has so far registered about 4,000 participants, with 33 U.S. exhibitors for the 3-day event. Products and services on power, agriculture, ICT, oil and gas are on display. In Lagos, Paul Omukagu, NTA News.
Many Lagosians were already in the usual early morning traffic on their way to work when the heavens opened and the rain poured on Monday. The consequence was long hours in traffic, flash flood and damage to personal effects and public utilities. Jennifer Igwe reports that normalcy has, however, returned in most parts of the state on Tuesday.
The weather in Lagos on Tuesday, although not as hot and dry as the megacity has been for months now, is a contrast to Monday, when heavy rain that lasted about an hour left most parts of the state flooded.
Yesterday's experience was very bad.
was very uncalled for because the traffic was seriously bad compared to what we expected. Today, fine, there are still traffic, but it's not as bad as that of yesterday.
The road was free this morning. You can see the hold up that we can see from this place is just from the traffic lights down to Falomo, and not too terrible. It's moving fine and going well.
Trees and electricity poles that were forced down by the pressure of the heavy wind that accompanied the downpour have been cleared by officials of the state government. Residents, however, say more needs to be done to ensure safety during the rainy season.
To actually curb traffic in Lagos, apparently, is probably to increase the roads or get drainage systems so that when there's flood, it doesn't affect the masses, apparently. So I feel that's what the government should work on.
We are actually going to the rainy season proper, so we expect more government assistance in doing what is needful to at least to clear the drainage and to make everywhere the traffic in Lagos is killing. Let it be free for us.
The Lagos state government has issued a statement assuring Lagosians that necessary measures have been put in place to address likely challenges that could arise from more intense rainfalls in the state. In Lagos, Jennifer Igwe, NTA News.
This is NTA Network News. More reports after this commercial break. Please stay tuned.
Are you a business owner or fresh graduate looking to learn new skills in line with your passion or business? Would you like to get a grant of 1 million naira to grow your business? How about interfacing with top government officials responsible for youth intervention programs? Would you like to meet with successful entrepreneurs who will offer you 12 months guided mentorship in your field, all for free? Then you need to be at the National Youth Entrepreneurship Empowerment Summit coming up on the 21st to 23rd of May 2019. Time is 9 a.m. daily. Venue is International Conference Center, Herbert Macaulay, Area 11, Abuja. Learn from the likes of Jimmy Tewe, Trisha Ikwanwombia, Ubong King, Kafi the Dancer, Kule Idowu, Frank Donga, George Okoro, and many others. Proudly supported by the Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, OSGF, the Tony Elumelu Foundation, the Jimmy Tewe Company, and Eventi Planners. Attendance is free, but registration is compulsory. Register at www.nyees.org.ng.
This event is part of activities lined up for the Presidential Inauguration and Democracy Day Celebration 2019.
In all the cities and all the streets, in all the places where people meet, from Niger to Uganda, that you're talking. You are the one that's buying, talking. West to the south, everywhere they come by, they know me mouth.
With 5 times bonus to call all networks on every recharge, we get you talking.
Keep talking.
Glow Unlimited.
The Presidential Inaugural Committee and the management of the Abuja National Mosque invites you to the 2019 Special Jummah Prayers. During this special Jummah Prayers, we will pray to Allah to guide our leaders in their tireless effort to build a progressive and prosperous Nigeria. There will be a public lecture entitled Harnessing Our Diversity for Peaceful Coexistence and National Security. Guest of honor, His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, President, Federal Republic of Nigeria. Date, 24th May 2019, equivalent to 19 Ramadan 1440 after Hijrah. Time, 10 o'clock in the morning. Venue, National Mosque, Abuja. Signed, Presidential Inaugural Committee.
From our wonderful family, meet our active triplets. Mixology, for example, mixes well with drinks. Then enjoy every quick meal with Slurp It Off. And everywhere you go, there is Go-Gurt. Packed packed with healthy nutrition, nourishing vitamins, power of protein, strength of calcium, revitalizing energy. Hollandia yogurt is bursting with goodness inside and out. Hollandia yogurt, it's all good. Hollandia!
Milo Ready to Drink with Active Go is made with the natural goodness of milk, malt and cocoa with essential vitamins and minerals, so you can pack the winning energy of Milo into your lunchbox to make sure your jump is always ready to keep winning every day. Milo, the energy food drink of future champions.
You're welcome, my future in-law.
Thank you, sir.
We have seen what you brought. Are the assorted drinks complete?
Yes, it's complete.
What about the Hollandaise? Are they complete?
Yes, it's complete. Confirmed.
And now for the most important item. Your retire well pension account number. Listen! You think I will allow you to toy with the future of my daughter and the children? This union can hold.
Making a move to secure your future is the perfect game plan. If you're self-employed, start a retire well plan to stay able for life.
Please, sir, give me a little time to get all those things.
Sorry.
I can also get...
Take this number now.
Okay, sir.
01-271-6000. Very simple.
Stanbic IBTC Pension Managers, a member of Standard Bank Group.
The Nigerian Television Authority (DUSE), in collaboration with the Federal University (DUSE), cordially invite the general public to the first NTA FUD Ramadan lecture scheduled to take place at Muhammad Sanusi Auditorium, Federal University (DUSE), on Wednesday, May 22, 2019, equivalent to 17th day of Ramadan, 1440 after Hijrah, by 9 o'clock in the morning. The topic of the lecture is the spread of fake news and hate speech, the position of Islam. The lecture will be presented by the Chief Imam of Dutse Central Mosque, Dr. Abubakar Muhammad Sani Kudu of Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria. Special guest of honor, Executive Governor of Jigawa State, Alhaji Muhammad Badaru Abubakar MNI, Royal Father of the Day, Emir of Dutse, Dr. Nuhu Muhammad Sanusi CON, Chairman of the occasion, former General Manager, Jigawa Radio Corporation, Malam Muhammad Garba. Guest of honor, Director General NTA, Malam Yakubu Ibn Muhammad. Announcer, Organizing Committee.
On business news, the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, is to limit deposit money banks' excessive appetite for government securities. Amina Nujam is here with me to give us details. But Amina, first and foremost, why did the CBN Monetary Policy Committee maintain its lending rates?
At the end of the day, it's about credit to target sectors and maintaining the growth so far in the Nigerian economy.
I see.
Now, moving on, the MPC meeting of the Central Bank of Nigeria has met for the first time since the reappointment of the CBN Governor, Godwin Emefiele. The 267th meeting resolved to hold all monetary parameters. The monetary policy rate is held at 13.5%, asymmetric corridor at plus 200 and minus 500 basis points around the MPR. Liquidity ratio is 30%, and cash reserve ratio at 22.5%. The committee frowned at the appetite for deposit money banks for government securities and urged the CBN to put in place policies that will regulate access to such, as they should lend more to the private sector as a key of growth. The committee also mandated the CBN as a matter of urgency to come up with administrative, legal and regulatory framework to mitigate non-performing loans while pushing consumer and mortgage lending. The equities market closed Tuesday, the 21st of May 2019, on a positive note, continuing the positive sentiment recorded on Monday. The Nigerian Stock Exchange O-Share Index appreciated by 2.88% to close at 30,218.14 basis points. This is against a 1.74% appreciation recorded on Monday. Its year-to-date return stands at minus 3.86%. 335 million shares exchanged hands in 4,453 deals worth 17.185 billion naira. Market capitalization stood at 13.309 trillion naira. And that is it from the business desk. Mohammed, it's back to you.
Thank you, Amina, for that insight. Ogun State Governor Ibikunle Amosu has inspected some developmental projects executed by his administration, promising to leave a good legacy for the incoming administration. Lekan Agbonde reports that these projects are expected to be inaugurated by President Muhammadu Buhari, who is scheduled to visit Ogun State soon.
Governor Amosun continued his constant inspection tour of projects under construction across the state to encourage contractors to complete the project ahead of time. The visit took him to the Judiciary Complex along Kobakwe Road, the amphitheater in the city center, and the renovated Old Governor's Office at Okelewo. Other projects are the 250-bed ultra-modern hospital at Okemosan, the Adre Kampala Mall at Itoku, and the Ogun State Television Digital Studio along Ajebo Road that have reached appreciable levels of completion.
The President is coming on Saturday, so all of us will be ready for him. And we don't want him to come and meet this road in this condition. That's why everybody is running around. I'm still coming back. Every day we'll be working around the clock to make sure that this place is sorted. Everybody should come out well to receive Mr. President. Because, I mean, he's our father, he has demonstrated it.
Governor also visited the International Airport project site of the federal government at Wasimi area of Ogun State. In Abeokuta, Lekan Agbonde, NTA News.
The Federal Road Safety Corps in Nasarawa State, inauguration of a befitting office complex by the state government and donation of operation vehicles speak volume after a desired partnership and a commitment to safeguarding the lives and property of Nigerians on the nation's highways. Joshua Ojito reports that the event was in line with activities rounding off the tenure of Governor Almakura's administration.
The edifice has 24 offices, conference hall, among others.
Anytime there are challenges of accidents on our roads, anytime you call the road safety, they are always there. Sometimes even before you call them, they are always there. I am really impressed, more so that the commitment, the discipline, and the pragmatic approach they have put to their services is something that is worthy of emulation by other services.
This is what a legacy you are leaving behind by giving us this place. And what you've done is you have removed burden on me.
Also inaugurated were heavy-duty crane and ambulances, all donated to FRSC by the state government. Governor Al-Mukura also received the chairman of FRSC board, Buhari Bello, where the state government promises sustained synergy with the Corps. Also inaugurated are 10 firefighting trucks to address cases of inferno in parts of the state. The trucks are to be deployed across the 3 senatorial zones of the state. In Lafia, Joshua Ojito, NTA News.
Participants at the just concluded Nigeria and the British Council Memorandum of Understanding for the training of cultural and festival managers have been enjoined to ensure that they impart the skills acquired during the period of their training to others who couldn't make it for the training, as a deliberate way of transferring knowledge learned to more people for the growth of the sector. Anthony Forson has details.
The participants, drawn from Nigeria and other African countries, is part of the MOU between Nigeria and the British Council to train festival managers. The participants, after their training, entertained guests who came to be part of the closing ceremony. Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Information and Culture, Deaconess Grace Isugekwe, who stood in for the Minister, Lai Mohammed, emphasized the need for the training to be put into practice.
The training you have had here is not for you to just go and sleep and let that knowledge you've acquired just die. You must put it into action right now and try to involve others that you think you can train, so that they will be part of your festival. Because you cannot package a festival alone. You must have a team to run with your your festival?
I hope that we've created an atmosphere of collaboration, of confidence, and an ambition to do things brilliantly.
Highlight of the event was the presentation of certificates to the participants. Anthony Forson, NTA News.
Time now for another commercial break. Don't go away.
4 years of the Buhari administration, the milestone and the pathway to Nigeria's greatness. That is the focus on NTA Tuesday Live this week. Tuesday Live, incisive and educating. Join us.
It's Ramadan. It's okay to share what you love. Ramadan Kareem from Indomie. Indomie Super Pack now available at 85 Naira.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the daring and invincible Louis the Mosquito. Responsible for 200 malaria cases all on its own. Is there anything that can kill Louis? Morphine! Presenting Mortise Our God. Its powerful formula kills malaria mosquitoes fast. So, get Mortise Power Guard.
Are you aware that your perfect family may be under threat by germs? Germs can cause infectious diseases like diarrhea, typhoid, and flu. These infectious diseases are amongst the biggest killers of adults and children. In Nigeria, tens of thousands of children under the age of 5 have died due to diarrhea caused by germs, which could easily have been prevented. These illness-causing germs are everywhere. Dirty surfaces, on cuts and wounds, on your clothes, in unclean bathing water. To protect your family from germs, use the power of Dettol's 1 capful. For surface cleaning, for first aid, for your laundry, in your bathing water, and to protect your family from up to 100 illness-causing germs. Be Dettol sure.
Spot of that is next with Gift George.